Just how good are triathletes at running? That is the question Alex Yee, a world and Olympic champion in triathlon, is aiming to show us the answer to this year. He will line up at the flat, fast marathon course in Valencia on December the 7th and has been training to run 2:06. Now that might seem like a crazy goal for an athlete transitioning from another sport, but Yee is no ordinary athlete. He has the fastest ever 10k time at the end of an Olympic distance triathlon, clocking an unreal 28:30 after a 1500 metre swim and a 40 kilometre bike in 2023, and even has pedigree on the track dating back to 2018 when he won the British 10,000 metre championships ahead of full-time runners and Olympians on the track, Andy Vernon, Chris Thompson and Ben Connor, running 27:51. However, from 2018 until this year, we were starved of seeing Yee do many running races at all, as he made it clear he saw himself as a triathlete and wanted to become the world's best. He embarked on a 4-year period where he established himself as one of the most dominant triathletes in history, winning individual silver and relay gold at the Tokyo Olympics in 2021, double gold in the 2022 Commonwealth Games, and then individual gold in the Paris Olympics last year, which came following a streak of 9 wins in 14 races leading in, notoriously difficult to do in a sport where mechanicals and crashes on the bike add an element of luck to proceedings. As he finished off 2024 by becoming only the second man in history to win Olympic gold and the World Triathlon Series Championship crown in the same year, Yee was looking for a new challenge. With the next Olympics 4 years away, meaning time to try something else, he turned his attention to the marathon. Now, on the face of it, the marathon wouldn't seem like the optimum event for Yee to attempt. He has proven pedigree over 5 and 10k, and triathletes tend to run less than 100 kilometres a week in training to leave room for all that biking and swimming, which doesn't really align with the elite marathon training. But dig a little deeper, and the choice does make sense. This summer, Yee ran 13:13 for a 5,000 metres on the track, his first attempt at the event for more than 6 years. Given that he finished just 2 seconds behind winner Harbert Kebed, a 13 flat man, and 3 places ahead of Jack Rowe, a 13:04 runner, it is highly likely that with a few more attempts Yee would be able to qualify for the World Championships and Olympics on the track, given the standard required is 13:01, and Britain only had one other runner achieve that in the last World Champs cycle. But the marathon, while more of an unknown for Yee, does make sense. Olympic distance triathlons are races lasting between 1 hour 45 minutes and 2 hours, meaning the marathon might be more suited to enhancing the aerobic ability needed for Yee to dominate back on the triathlon circuit. But perhaps more importantly, Yee has suggested that if the World Athletics Championships in 2029 are to take place in his native London, he would like to be a part of it. And he is not the type of athlete who wants to simply make up the numbers. If he were to qualify in the 5,000 metres, there is no realistic chance of being able to compete with the world's best. Running 13 flat is one thing, but doing that and then dropping a 52-second last lap to hang with the likes of Cole Hocker and Jakob Ingebrigtsen is something else entirely. In the marathon at World Championships, however, it is a very different story. The top Kenyans and Ethiopians rarely compete, preferring to optimise their earning potential at major marathons. As such, there is a history of British athletes having success in the World Championships, with Callum Hawkins finishing 4th in both 2017 and 2019 in the marathon, and Emile Caresse even finishing 4th at last summer's Olympics. Yee won't say it out loud, out of respect for his fellow athletes, but he will likely see himself as on a par with those two, meaning he will believe he could have a chance of competing at the front end of that 2029 World Championships marathon. And why not? While his first attempt at the distance in London in April saw him fall slightly short of his stated aim of 2:07 to 2:10, his 2:11.08 was still enough to place him as second Brit in the field, ahead of Olympian and 2:07 man Phil Sessamon, and interestingly quicker than either Hawkins or Caresse ran in their first ever marathons, with Hawkins running 2:12 in Frankfurt in 2015, and Caresse a DNF on debut in London in 2022. With that London race also having warm, less than ideal conditions that saw most of the elite field run slower than expected, it is likely that Yee can improve his time a lot in Valencia. And his training now, compared to before London, suggests a big performance is coming. He started his marathon career very conservatively, only reaching 145 kilometres in his biggest weeks leading into London, although he did supplement that by maintaining a reasonable amount of swimming and biking. There were no altitude camps, and the only attempt at heat training met an ill-fated end in rain and temperatures below 20 degrees C in Portugal. But in this block, he has upped both the volume and intensity. He has already reached 155 kilometres a week with 6 weeks left to go before the race, and the workouts he is doing now are far better than those before London. This time around, he did the following workout 9 weeks out from Valencia. A continuous run of 9 times 2 kilometres off 1 kilometre floats, with the 2 kilometre efforts run at 2:58 a kilometre, and the 1 kilometre floats run at 3:16 a kilometre. This compares very favourably to a workout he did 8 weeks out from London, where he did a continuous run featuring 10 times 1 kilometre off 1 kilometre floats, with the 1 kilometre efforts run at 3 flat pace and the 1 kilometre floats at 3:13s. Furthermore, he has done some workouts with Sesemann, who recently ran 2:07.17 at the Amsterdam Marathon and is also targeting Valencia. And the fact they will run the race together gives the strongest indication that Alex Yee will target 2:06 in Valencia. Having just run 2:07, and with the qualifying window for the 2027 World Championships opening this month, Sesemann will certainly attempt to run under the 2:06.30 qualifying standard in Spain. After training with him and showing a penchant for packing up with the other British contenders in road races this year, Yee will surely follow suit and shoot for a 2:06.30 clocking. He further showed his intent to aim for a super fast time at the Valencia Marathon with his performance at the Valencia Half Marathon this weekend just gone. Despite temperatures of 19 degrees on the start line, far higher than optimal for a half marathon, Yee went out at 60-minute flat pace. Again running in a pack of the top British athletes in the race, he split 10 kilometres in 28:45 and was averaging 2:52 a kilometre right the way up to the 12k mark, where the pace started to slow. The pack faded significantly in the last 5 kilometres, but rallied in the last kilometre, with Yee still posting a very respectable time of 61:30. While he was clearly frustrated in the result, running that time in hot conditions is very impressive, and the pace he went out at lends further weight to the theory that he believes he is in 60 flat half marathon shape and 2:06 or 2:07 marathon shape. So how will he fare on December the 7th? His training shows he has the fitness, but there is another factor on his side in a race like Valencia. As a triathlete, Yee is used to racing to win rather than racing for a time, and gets plenty of practice of it with far more races in a year than almost any marathoner does. Jake Smith, who was beaten by Yee in the race to be second Brit at London, has talked about how Yee has an animalistic competitiveness, refusing to give in even when his body is spent. With Valencia sure to see a huge pack of men around that 2:06.30 mark, Yee will be able to release that competitive instinct on a deep field, and that might just give the final bit of motivation he needs to get him over the line. Providing the weather in Valencia is good then, I think he will make a huge statement and run that 2:06. If conditions are warmer, then fading to 2:08 or 2:09 becomes a possibility. Either way, we should see Alex Yee finish 2025 having proved that he can be a real force in running, and that the top triathletes are unbelievably good runners. I hope that is enough to motivate him to build towards a place at the 2029 World Championships, and I believe that if he does, he can do a lot more than just take part. But until that point, it's still going to be amazing to see him push the boundaries in the sport of triathlon. Swim, bike, run is what he was brought up on and what he loves, and over the next Olympic cycle, it will be a pleasure to watch one of the best to ever do it. And now I'd like to pass it over to you. How do you think Alex Yee will perform in the Valencia Marathon? And what do you see him achieving in future? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe to catch more analysis of the top athletes on the planet. Thanks for watching, everyone, and see you in the next one.